Hello. So I've been gone for a while because I haven't been feeling well, but I'm better now. Um, but anyway, I have a couple of things I want to say, but it's two different topics. So I would have to split it into two different videos. But this one is not something that I specialize in, but I do hear it a lot. And the point is, if it's something that I want to become good at, there's all kinds of information around, right? And it's about financial literacy, right? Getting your finances in order. Now, one thing that's big for me is that you need income to get your finances in order. You do need income, and then you need an income where you're not having to spend more than what you're making. Because if you have to keep spending more than what you're making on bills or whatever, then you will never be able to save enough to put a lot of that practice that those professional financial professionals talk about. It'll be hard to put that into place even if you're making money, but you're in a situation where your bills are almost equal to what you're making, and you barely have like maybe $50 left over, then that's kind of hard to work with. Okay, so then there comes a time where there needs to be some kind of organization. Something has to happen, or even if it's maybe another side hustle, another job, or something needs to happen where that practice can be put into place, rather than having $20 to $50 left over after you done paid all your bills. It's hard to really be in a good financial place like that, but you definitely need an income. Some people don't have an income period to even try to do anything with. But this is what I want to say though. This is the main point. I hear people keep talking about how black folks, I'm tired of black people being victimized like they're not in the United States of America, like they have not been able to have access to a lot of similar education that other people have. Let me tell you something. I know a lot of black people that went to private school, and I know a lot of black people that went to white private, PWI, predominantly white institution. Yeah. But even if you go to a HBCU, I'm sorry, they have accounting, they have economics classes. I don't understand. I don't get this. And it's because I hear it a lot. And this is not a channel to talk about so-called black people. I don't want to make it about that because it's more in the world than that type of topic, right? It's more in the world than that type of topic. It's not even about the world. It's about you. It's more about your life than black. Because black is something that was just kind of thrown at a group of people in the United States of America that really it's not even a real identity. Okay, it's not even a real identity. It seems like so-called black people really started doing bad when they were called black. Maybe they need to go back to being colored or just be called Negroes or be called who they really are. I watch a lot of Dane Calloway, a lot of them with Niji. Go back to being called whatever you were, because I think being called black is what the problem is, right? I think that's what the problem is. But anyway, this thing about I keep hearing, well, black people, they weren't taught how to manage their money. They weren't taught how to do this. They weren't taught how to do this. I really hate hearing that in 2022, even if I am not in the best financial situation myself. I hate hearing that in the year 2022, when here you are in the 1920s and you had some of the best and thriving black communities before financial literacy was even a thing. You had people that was so industrious, I mean, black people, it seems like after the 60s, black people kind of lost their way. Honestly, it seems like black people lost their way it seems like after they were called black. And definitely after integration, of course, because I think what happened was a lot of so-called black people got comfortable up under other people's communities. Okay, when they were forced to stick together, they had to figure out what to do on their own, I guess. But I don't want to get into that because then there's that whole gender thing happening. There's a gender gap going on, obviously. That's never going to get well. So I don't want to get into having to come back together because that's not a good idea and it's not going to happen. But what I want to say, not anytime soon. Let me say it like that. Not anytime soon, the way things are going with the United States of America and the disrespect, the public humiliation that's going on, the hatred. It's not going to, nothing, so-called black people ain't coming back together like that, and the children will be suffering having to keep witnessing stuff like that. But I hate hearing about this black people in 2022, this excuse that they don't have access to financial literacy or the education and they're not being taught. It's like black people in the United States of America are able to do whatever they want to do. Why is it that they can know so much about Cardi B? Why is it that they have access to information about Cardi B? Why is it that they have access to information about this Tory Lanez or Megan? And I'm just thinking of stuff I see on thumbnails on YouTube now. I really don't know what's going on out there because I don't listen to radio. I don't watch TV. I don't know what's going on. And I know that the internet is big anyway, but I don't tune into celebrities and whatever's going on in that world, okay? Because a lot of stuff that goes on in that world is fabricated. You never know what really is happening in those people's lives. Those people are regular folks like me and you. And so the stuff that you see on TV is for ratings. It's how media gets money. And that's why I don't really pay celebrities any attention unless I might like their music. I listen to that. Otherwise, whatever's supposed to be going on in their life that's in the media, I don't really pay attention to it because at the end of the day, they're regular folks, okay? They're regular folks, and their life ain't that exciting. Trust me, your life, you probably got more going on in your life than they got going on in their lives. So that's why I don't be paying attention to them, okay? But my point in saying that is that I see a lot, especially young black people, they seem to have access to these celebrities' so-called business. Okay, they seem to want to pay attention to what they want to give their attention to. Okay, they know how to get to the concerts they want to get to, even if it's $600. I've never spent $600 on a concert. I'm not going to criticize nobody else who does because you have a right to spend whatever you want your money on, whatever you want to spend your money on. But my point is that if you can spend $600 for one night, why not pay, why not deal with, why not look at something on free on YouTube? There's a bunch of financial literacy on YouTube where black people are teaching, so-called black people are teaching, and there's a lot of so-called white people teaching, there's a lot of Asian teaching. I mean, I see all kinds of, if you type in financial literacy in the YouTube engine, if you're really interested in finances, if you're really, really interested, you gotta want to do better with it. See, I think there's a big problem with accountability. I said this before. I think I said it on my other channel, Divine Beingness. So-called black people have a hard time with accountability. It's just boring. Just admit that it's boring. It's boring to look at your credit. It's boring to understand your credit. Just say it's boring. Because the information is out there for free. You ain't got to pay nobody, but even if you do pay somebody, it ain't going to be $600 for one session like you would pay $600 to go to a big concert. And it's a lot of people, so-called black people, that will spend their money and save up their money for that. They will save up their money for spend a lot of money on other things. That's fine. I've done that too. On other things I like to eat. Sometimes one meal could be $15. Okay, that don't sound like a lot. Well, that's a lot to me if you don't have a lot of money coming in, and one meal could be, now I don't eat but once a day, no way. But one meal is $15. And I guess in the whole day I might spend maybe $20 on something, on a meal or something. If I'm on the go, if I'm on the road, I'm on the road a lot, you know. And the good thing about me is I'm not the type to eat 3 times a day. And even if I want to munch on a snack, I'd be like, that's enough. That's too much snacking. So I cut it off. But so 20 some dollars ain't nothing to some people. And it could be a lot if you ain't got a lot of money coming in. But my point is that I'm saying that I spent my money on things that I wanted too. That's my whole point. And this could have been times where I could have put a little bit of money aside to put it towards other things and had other things in order by now, right? That's my whole point in saying that. So what I'm saying is that that's their priorities. What you see is a lot of black people spend their money on, and I know people want to hop on the wigs and the weaves, but to be honest with you, a lot of the black women they making the bread, you know. Now, a lot of black men doing well too, though. They are. I know it seems as if they're not, but even the ones on the streets got some money in their pocket. Okay, it could be from drug dealing, but they got some money in their pocket. You really ain't gonna hardly find too many black men without money. But what it is that a lot of stuff is not where it's public, so it looks like a lot of them don't have nothing. But it's because I have relatives like that. They do a lot of stuff on the side where they don't report with the money, the real money they have. So it looks like black men are downtrodden and all this stuff. But really, it's a lot, especially the ones in the hood and stuff. They doing some stuff where they can't make it public. Okay, they walking around with no less than $500 in their pocket. I noticed. Most of them, you really ain't gonna really find it. Well, I'm not used to the city. Let me tell you this right now. I don't know what our men are in the city. I don't know if they have any kind of pride or not. But I grew up in Alabama. I'm in California now, and I think the men in the city have less pride than the men in the country. I think the men in the city they don't care, you know. But they want money in their pocket too, but at the same time, they have far less pride when it comes to money than men in the country, I noticed. So I'm from Alabama, and in Alabama, men they gotta have money in their pocket, but it's gonna look like on record like they ain't making nothing because they doing some illegal stuff and they can't report it. So while they saying they ain't making nothing but $20,000-$30,000 a year, actually they slinging drugs and making over $100K maybe a month. But they can't report that. They can't report that they doing drugs. Or not doing drugs, but selling drugs. They can't report that. So their income that to the public is $35,000. Anyway, it's almost time for me to go. But let me just get to the point. My point is this victimization of black people got to stop. Black people know how to get exactly what they want to get. Black people their priorities their priorities are where they are, and you can see where they spend their money, what they do. Not to get in people's pockets, but you can see what their priorities are. You know, you can see they get access to whatever they want to get access to. Okay, it ain't that hard. All them financial literacy videos are free on YouTube. If they want to get it, it's for free. Literally, you can learn how to fix your credit for free. Just browsing through YouTube. But it's just a matter of, I think, what black people, where the accountability needs to come in is just say it's boring. Just call it boring. You don't want to spend that time. That's your head is not there. You like to be entertained. You like the mess. You like whatever else. But just most people are not interested in putting their attention on credit building and financial literacy. Most people, whether they Hispanic, whether they white, because I've seen all groups where they are lacking in financial literacy. But see, the black people are at the bottom of the pyramid, so all eyes are on black folks. But I've seen all groups of people where they lack in financial literacy. And I've seen where all groups of people, they just don't want to put their attention on something like credit building and getting your finances together because it's just boring to them. It's boring. Just going to say it's boring. It could be like watching paint dry. if you're not interested in that type of subject. But you need to do it. All of us need to do it for our own well-being. But like I said at the beginning, you definitely need some income to do that. Cause so if a person don't have no income to start with, that's just where they need to start. But then once you get the income, you got to make sure that your bills ain't about the same as what you're making, and you got like $20 left over. You can't follow what these professionals, those experts, financial experts are telling you. You can't even follow it because you barely have any money to do nothing with but take a piss or something. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's it. All right, I'll talk to you later.